It's great to have you back. Now I have Ernest Ademola Ehigie, who is passionate and purpose-driven and is on a mission to bring God's agenda in leadership and governance. He's a thought leader and advocate for excellence in any leadership endeavor. He's here to share more insight and talk about his book, Why You Must Lead, a fresh perspective for extraordinary leadership. It's great to have you, Ernest.
Same here.
You are welcome.
So much.
This is a riveting book.
Thank you so much.
Why You Must Lead. In fact, from what you have here, you make it seem like leadership is a must.
It is a must.
Let's talk about the essence of leadership. Why must you lead?
The essence of leadership is the fact that, like you've already mentioned, it is a must. Unlike we've known before now, the knowledge that we have before now is that leadership is more of like secondary. After you've taken care of every other thing, then maybe you can talk about leadership. But the truth is that leadership is the reason why we exist. In fact, we are here today because of leadership. I mean, man would have still been living in the cave if not for leadership, because somebody thought about it that we can live in a better home instead of being in the cave. We can do better. We can have a better life, because leadership is service, is innovation, is creative thinking, is thinking the next level. What is the next big thing? What is the next thing to do? And so it is, in fact, we all go extinct. We'll go extinct without leadership. And so it is the key. It is most important in any subject of discussion. Yes, it is
something that we greatly need in Africa as a continent.
Very essential.
Now, the second chapter in your book says, know your why.
Yeah.
Now, the book is titled Why You Must Lead Now, but there has to be an understanding of that why. That's what you're saying in the second chapter.
Very key.
Let's expound on that.
Very key. Now, the subject of leadership as, you know, more of like oversaturated. There's materials, there's book. Everybody tends to know what leadership is about. We've talked about where you should lead, who a leader should be, what are the characteristics of a leader. But the why, it's very key, which has not really been dealt with. And so the book talked about knowing your why, because if you don't know your why in any endeavor, even outside of leadership, you'll be beaten down. At every challenges, you'll be brought down to your knees every day. But the guys that know their why, they are the guys that stand out. They are the guys most times we call them the crazy ones, because they don't make sense. But that is the truth. That is what makes a man or a woman different. That is that is what makes you different. Yes, that's what makes you stand out as a leader or in any endeavor. So when you know your why, you'll be able to, even like I said in the book, that when you know your why, your voice will still be re-echoing, even when you've lost. I mean, you re-echo even when you've lost your voice.
I like that.
You will fly even when there's no wings.
I like that.
Thank
now,
you.
chapter 3 and 4, lead for God, lead for you. Yeah. Let's see how fast. What do you mean by leading for God? Yeah,
basically the fact that you have been deposited with immense potential, and it doesn't even matter if you believe in God or not, but at least you believe in mother nature, and there's a lot that has been deposited in you. It will be an ungrateful business to God and to our mother nature if you do not make use of those potentials. So
from what you're saying, I might deduce that you are someone that agrees in predestination. Can I say so?
Not necessarily in that sense.
Not
necessarily in that regard.
Gifts you were deposited were in you to also help people. So you have to understand that.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, you said something, we're talking earlier, I said lead for you, and you made mention of how leadership is more of how we ourselves, not only are we serving people, but it is also an advantage for us. How is that so?
Very true. And I must say that it's more of like is the aspect that is a bit unconventional about the book. Yes, because a lot of us just believe leading is essentially for others. But the truth is that leadership makes you better. It sharpens you. It makes you better. A lot of us have built capacity. Don't forget, I said leadership is service. A lot of us have built capacity in the process of leading because we decided to lead, because we decided to serve. We become better people. So leadership first affects you. Leadership makes you better. Like, for example, it takes leadership to write a book because you want to serve humanity.
Exactly.
It's not just a business. And for me, the book has made me better even before you get to read it. So anybody that throw his or herself out to lead, to serve, becomes better even before others.
Right, now
also
something you
benefit.
mentioned, which takes me to the final chapter of this book, Lead for Humanity.
Yeah.
And two people come to mind here, which you mentioned in this book.
Yeah.
Dr. Ameyo Stella Adadevo and Professor Dora Akinwumi. Now, these are two
Fantastic
women
people.
who I would say personify that statement, leading for humanity.
Exactly.
Let's talk about that.
In fact, I was blown away when I revisited their stories. I was blown away. I mean, at some point when I was doing research on Stella Adadevo, I broke into tears because I got a better picture
Of what she
did. A massive sacrifice, not just for Nigeria, not just for Africa, but for the world.
For the world.
Because I mentioned that would have just wake up one day and Nigeria, Africa, and the world would be like a ghost land. But she decided, she knew what it was, but she decided to pay that sacrifice, even when it was not easy for her, even when I mean, it wasn't necessary that she has to be the one, but she decided to do that because she's a medical doctor. She understands the profession. She understands the infection as well. But she decided to do that. So she was exceptional. And she was always saying, for the good of the nation, for the good of the people. That was what she was always saying.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wish we could go on, but this is a masterpiece. Thank you. Leading for Humanity, those two women, which we just mentioned, they embody all of that. Thank you so much for this book. But then I would like to lead you to our kitchen,
Wow.
where we have something for you.
Wow, awesome.
Let's serve you. Let's serve you today.
Thank you so
all right,
much.
So let's go there. Let's go.
Wow.
And the ladies are in the house.
Welcome, Mr.
Wow.
Ernest.
Thank you so much.
That's
Good
Titi.
morning. Titi's
And
nice
this
to meet
is
you.
Please have your seats.
Hello.
Chef Nina.
Wow.
Yes.
That's MM, and that's Mary.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. How you
nice to
doing?
meet you. Wow.
All right, great. Welcome to the kitchen. This is Chef Nina, as Mike said earlier on. This morning, she has made plantain gizzard kebab
Wow.
with
Wow.
salad as a side dish and banana
You don't
smoothie.
joke with me when it comes to food.
At all. Breakfast. This is the real service.
I mean, we
telling
went
you,
right
this
to
is
it. So please have a taste while Chef Nina tells us how she put this together quickly.
Please have a taste, sir.
Chef Nina, over to
Wow.
you.
All right, so like MM said, this is what you call platter.
Yeah.
This is the kind of food your wife should serve you first thing in the morning. Are you married? Are you married?
She didn't sleep
not yet.
overnight.
Please, you have to work towards it.
Wow.
So this is
And it
something
looks
light,
really good.
yet delicious. You
Something
can't resist this, you know.
Wow.
What's this?
That's the salad cream.
This Chef Nina safe, eh? That's too much.
Please, go ahead, Chef.
Thank you.
You can try it.
Mike, your birthday
You
is
can try it,
over,
sir. You
babe.
can try it, sir. You can try this.
Awesome. Awesome.
watching you.
We're waiting for you to take a bite.
Just to bite maybe the plantain, anything
Wow.
that can survive. All right. Okay.
Okay.
While he's enjoying it.
your head, but I'm hearing.
You haven't even tasted the meat.
Something, I'm just having different feelings, so it's awesome.
Thank you.
Different feelings of
Thank
it,
you.
and it's awesome. Thank you.
Big shout out to Homely NG for this wonderful kitchen accessories.
Thank you.
And yeah,
Big shout out to
all our guests for coming.
Thank
Thank you very
so
much, sir, for that wonderful book, I must say.
So much.
And
It's
also
a pleasure.
to the live band, to the photographer, every single person, Rex.
Chef Nina as well.
Chef
Thank
Nina,
you, Chef Nina.
you're the MVP.
Yes.
She's a
The
real
MVP.
MVP.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been a wonderful time on the show. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Friday. What's happening on Friday, Steve?
Game day!
You heard her. You heard her. That's what's going on.